Commander Anna Wright stood at the bridge of the Starweaver, her eyes fixed on the vast darkness beyond Saturn's rings. After 15 years of deep space exploration, she thought nothing could surprise her anymore. She was wrong. "Commander, we're picking up an unusual signal," said Paul Chen, the ship's communications officer. His fingers moved quickly across the glowing display. "It's not matching any known human frequencies." Anna's heart beat faster, but her voice remained steady. "Show me." The main screen lit up with a pattern of waves that pulsed in an odd rhythm. It wasn't random noise. It was too organized, too precise. This was a message. "Wake up, Dr. Martinez," she ordered. "We might need his expertise on this one." The Starweaver had been mapping the outer edges of the solar system for the past 6 months. With colonies now firmly established on Mars and Europa, Earth's governments wanted to push further into space. But in all their explorations, they had never found signs of intelligent life. Until now. Dr. Peter Martinez arrived on the bridge, still pulling on his lab coat. His eyes widened when he saw the signal pattern. "This is incredible," he whispered. "The complexity suggests an advanced civilization." Before they could discuss it further, the ship's sensors began blaring warnings. A massive object had just appeared near them, seeming to fade into existence like a ghost becoming solid. It was a ship, but unlike anything humans had ever built. It was the size of a small city, with a design that reminded Anna of a predatory bird ready to strike. "All stations, battle ready," Anna commanded. "But I repeat, do not arm weapons. We don't want to appear hostile." The alien ship's surface rippled with colors that seemed to absorb and bend light. A new signal came through their communication system, this time with visual data. The screen filled with the image of a creature that made everyone on the bridge gasp. The alien stood nearly 8 feet tall, its body covered in iridescent scales. Its face was a mix of avian and reptilian features, with 4 eyes positioned for perfect depth perception and hunting. When it opened its mouth to speak, rows of sharp teeth gleamed. "Greetings, small prey species," the universal translator struggled to convert the alien's complex speech patterns. "We are the HFY, hunters of the void, claimers of territories. Your presence has been noted." Anna stepped forward. "I am Commander Anna Wright of the Earth vessel Starweaver. We come in peace and wish to establish diplomatic relations." The HFY made a sound that might have been laughter. "Diplomatic relations? With prey? How amusing. We have studied your world from afar. You live in peace, build instead of conquer, negotiate instead of fight. Clear signs of a prey species." "We choose peace," Anna replied firmly. "It's not the same as weakness. Choice." The alien's upper eyes narrowed. "Prey does not choose. Prey survives until the predator arrives. We are here now. This system will make an excellent hunting ground." The bridge crew exchanged worried glances. Lieutenant Ryan Foster, at the tactical station, whispered, "Commander, they're powering up some kind of energy weapon." Anna kept her voice level. "Our system is not available for hunting. We have billions of people living across multiple worlds. We will defend them." "Defend?" The HFY commander's scales shifted to a deep red. "With what? Your primitive ships. Your peaceful ways. We have conquered species far more advanced than yours. But we will give you the honor of a proper hunt. You have 1 Earth rotation to leave this sector. After that, we begin." The screen went dark. Anna immediately sprang into action. "Ryan, record everything about their ship. Paul, send an emergency message to Earth Command. Dr. Martinez, I need analysis of their technology from the sensor readings." "Commander," Ryan called out, his voice tense. "They're launching smaller ships. Evasive maneuvers," Anna ordered. "Get us out of here, but make it look like we're fleeing in panic. Let's not show them everything we can do." The Starweaver turned sharply, its advanced engines pushing it to high speed. But the alien ships were faster. Energy beams sliced through space around them. "They're toying with us," Anna realized. like cats playing with mice. She watched as one of the beams grazed their port side, easily cutting through their best shielding like it was paper. Hull breach on Deck 3. Engineering reported. We've lost Adams and Rivera. Anna felt the deaths of her crew members like physical blows, but she couldn't let grief take over. Not now. Release probe satellites. Full spread. Let's leave some eyes and ears out here. The Starweaver launched its entire complement of stealth observation probes as it fled. Most would be destroyed, but if even one survived, it would give Earth valuable intelligence. One of the alien ships cut across their escape route, herding them like sheep. Anna saw their game too late. They were being pushed towards Saturn's rings. All power to forward shields. She shouted, "Brace for debris impact." The ship shuddered as ice and rock from Saturn's rings hammered against their shields. Warning lights flashed across every console, but Anna had one last trick. Ready the magnetic pulse. The Starweaver had been equipped with an experimental device designed to study magnetic fields, but at full power, pointed at the debris field. Pulse ready, Ryan reported. Fire. The magnetic pulse shot out, supercharging the ice and rock particles in Saturn's rings. The debris field lit up like a Christmas tree, temporarily blinding both visual and energy sensors. In the confusion, Anna ordered their navigational lights killed, and their engine signature masked. The Starweaver slipped away in the darkness as the HFY ships fired blindly into the debris field. They lost 3 more crew members during the escape, but they had vital information about humanity's new enemy. Hours later, as they rushed back toward Earth at maximum speed, Anna recorded her report for Earth Command. Her voice was heavy with the weight of what she had to say. "We are no longer alone in the universe," she began. "But our first contact is not with friends or peaceful explorers. We have met hunters who see us as prey. They are technologically superior and consider us weak because we choose peace. But they have made a terrible mistake." She paused, thinking of her lost crew members, of the billions of lives now at risk. "They think we are prey because we choose not to hunt. They don't understand that we buried our predator instincts under civilization, not because we had to, but because we chose to. Now they're forcing us to remember what we once were." Another pause as she considered the gravity of her next words. "Earth Command, we need to prepare for war. The HFY have never hunted humans before. They don't know that on Earth, even the prey can be deadly. They don't know about the honey badger, the cassowary, the hippopotamus, creatures that seem docile until threatened. They don't know that humans are the most dangerous species our planet ever produced. We chose peace, but we never forgot how to fight." The Starweaver raced toward Earth, carrying its warning. Behind them, hidden in Saturn's rings, the surviving probe satellites began their silent watch, gathering intelligence on an enemy that thought they had found easy prey, but had instead awakened a sleeping predator. In the ship's medical bay, Dr. Martinez was already analyzing the sensor data from their brief encounter, his mind racing with possibilities. The HFY's technology was advanced, yes, but it followed patterns they could understand. And if they could understand it, they could fight it. The hunt was about to begin, but the hunters didn't realize they had just created their own worst nightmare. Humans with no choice but to fight back. 3 weeks after the Starweaver's return, Earth had changed. The old rivalries between nations melted away in the face of an alien threat. The newly formed Terra Defense Alliance took control of all space operations, and every factory on Earth shifted to building ships and weapons. Dr. Peter Martinez hadn't slept properly since they got back. He sat in his new underground lab beneath the Rocky Mountains, studying data from their encounter with the HFY. Cups of cold coffee littered his desk. "Dr. Martinez," a voice called from the doorway. "The test results you wanted are ready." He looked up to see Nathan Cole, formerly a Navy SEAL, now head of combat training for the Alliance. Nathan's presence meant the physical trials were complete. "Show me," Peter said, clearing space on his cluttered desk. Nathan laid out a tablet displaying charts and graphs. It's incredible. In every test, human soldiers showed higher endurance than the alien physical capabilities you predicted from the Starweaver's scans. Peter nodded, excitement building. The HFY evolved as apex predators. They're stronger, faster, and have better natural weapons than us. But they never had to build endurance. They never had to chase prey for days until it collapsed from exhaustion. Persistence hunting, Nathan said, understanding dawning in his eyes. Like our ancestors used to do. Exactly. We're not the strongest predator Earth produced, but we're the most stubborn. We can run longer, stay awake longer, and adapt to more environments than any other species on our planet. Peter pulled up his own research. And I think that's true for the galaxy too. On the main screen, he displayed a simulation of human and HFY biology. Their bodies are perfect for short, powerful bursts. But in a long fight, we have the advantage. Nathan's tactical mind was already working, so we avoid direct confrontation. We make them chase us, wear them down. And then we strike, Peter finished. But that's not all. Look at this. He showed data from the Starweaver's sensors during their escape. Their technology is based on overwhelming force. They never developed stealth because they never needed to hide. Their sensors are great at detecting energy signatures, but terrible at finding things that are just quiet. A smile spread across Nathan's face. We can use that. The door chimed, and Commander Anna Wright walked in. She'd spent the last weeks helping coordinate Earth's defenses, and it showed in the dark circles under her eyes. But there was fire in her expression. Good, you're both here, she said. We just got data from the surviving probe satellites. The HFY are gathering a hunting fleet. We have maybe 2 months before they reach our system. 2 months isn't much time, Nathan said. It's enough, Anna replied. Because we're not going to wait for them to come to us. Dr. Martinez, tell them about your stealth ship proposal. Peter pulled up new designs on the screen. We're stripping down our ships, removing everything that creates excess energy signatures. No shields. No shields. Nathan looked concerned. They can cut through our best shields anyway, Anna explained. But their weapons are designed to track energy signatures. A completely cold ship, running silent. They'll never see us coming. Peter continued, we're replacing the shields with layers of smart armor. It's less effective but creates no energy signature. And we're redesigning our weapons to be single-shot killers. No sustained beams that can be traced back to their source. Nathan studied the designs. Hit and run tactics. Strike from the shadows, then disappear before they can respond. He nodded approvingly. Like wolves hunting larger prey. Exactly, Anna said. And we have another advantage. The probes show they're bringing their families along, treating this like a leisure hunt. They're not expecting real resistance. Their arrogance will be their weakness, Peter added. They think they know what humans are capable of. They've seen our peaceful colonies, our diplomatic missions. But they haven't seen what happens when humans are backed into a corner. In the weeks that followed, every human colony transformed. Underground facilities on Mars became training grounds where soldiers learned to fight in low gravity. The ice tunnels of Europa turned into submarine bases. Even the mining operations in the asteroid belt found a new purpose, churning out ships and weapons. Nathan worked with special forces teams, teaching them to think like their ancestors. Forget everything you know about fair fights, he told them. We're going back to our roots. Back to when humans were just clever apes who learned to use tools and outlast their prey. The new ships took shape in orbital shipyards, dark and sleek, designed to disappear against the backdrop of space. They looked nothing like traditional human vessels. These were predator ships built for hunting. 1 month into their preparation, Anna stood in the observation deck of the Luna Command Center, watching the first fleet of stealth ships running drills. They moved like sharks through water, silent and deadly. Beautiful, aren't they? Peter joined her at the window. The HFY won't know what hit them. Any news from the probes? They're still coming, but they're taking their time, stopping to hunt on various planets along the way, like a family on vacation. Peter's voice held a hint of anger. They really don't see us as a threat. Anna smiled grimly. Good. Let them come slowly. Every day gives us more time to prepare. Every day makes us stronger. In the training rooms below, Nathan worked with ship crews, teaching them new ways to fight. Forget about formation flying, he told them. Think like a pack of wolves. Each ship acts independently but supports the others. No predictable patterns. No standard tactics. The crews learned quickly. Humans had always been good at adapting, at learning new ways to survive. Now they were learning new ways to hunt. 2 weeks before the HFY were expected to arrive, Earth launched its first line of defense. Hundreds of automated drones, little more than engines and basic sensors, scattered throughout the solar system. They would serve as early warning systems and decoys, drawing attention away from the real threats. Look at this, Peter called Anna and Nathan to his lab. He showed them readings from the latest tests. Our crews are sustaining combat readiness longer than any HFY could. Their enhanced biology works against them. They'd burn through energy too quickly. In a prolonged engagement, our endurance will outlast their strength. Nathan nodded. We've completed the pack training. Each ship crew knows how to work independently, but stay connected to the larger strategy. They're ready. They'll have to be, Anna said, because we just lost contact with the outer probes. The HFY hunting fleet has entered the solar system. She looked at the tactical display, showing the alien ships moving confidently toward their first target, the mining colonies in the asteroid belt. The HFY clearly expected to find helpless prey. Instead, they would find humanity's first line of hunters, waiting in the darkness between the rocks. The prey was about to teach the predators a lesson about the true meaning of hunting. Peter watched the display, thinking about how far they'd come in 2 months. You know what's ironic? He said, they forced us to remember what we really are. Not just tool makers or diplomats, but the species that hunted the hunters on Earth into extinction. And now we'll do it again, Anna said softly. In space. The alarm sounded, warning of the approaching alien fleet. Throughout the solar system, human ships powered down to bare minimum, disappearing into the void. The hunt was about to begin, but not in the way the HFY expected. This time, the prey would be the hunters. In the darkness between asteroids, Lieutenant Susan Baker held her breath. Not that the HFY could hear her through space, but old habits died hard. Her stealth ship, the Shadowcat, floated motionless, all systems running silent except for basic life support. Through her viewport, she watched the massive HFY ships pass by. They moved with complete confidence, not bothering to hide their presence. Energy readings from their ships lit up her passive sensors like birthday candles in a dark room. Too easy, she whispered to herself. They're not even looking for threats. Her crew stayed quiet, following the strict silence protocols they'd practiced for weeks. They'd painted their ship's hull with light-absorbing material. Even the windows were covered, leaving them to rely on sensors and cameras. Susan's wrist computer vibrated, the silent signal from command. The hunt was about to begin. In his command center beneath the Martian surface, Nathan Cole watched the tactical display. Hundreds of dots showed the positions of human ships hidden throughout the asteroid belt. These HFY fleet appeared as bright clusters, moving toward their first target, a mining station that appeared to be active, but was actually empty. All ships, execute Plan Wolfpack, he sent through the secure laser communication system. The message would take several minutes to reach all ships, but that was part of the plan. They weren't attacking as one unit. They were attacking as independent hunters who happened to share the same prey. The HFY never saw the first strike coming. Susan's ship rose silently from behind an asteroid, lined up its shot, and fired a single gravitational pulse. The weapon was based on Dr. Martinez's research into the alien shields. Instead of trying to break through them with force, it created a microscopic point of intense gravity that pulled the shields in on themselves. The pulse hit a HFY scout ship. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then the shield collapsed inward, crushing part of the ship's hull. Before the aliens could respond, the Shadowcat was moving, thrusters cold, letting momentum carry it behind another asteroid. Similar attacks happened across the belt. Human ships appeared from nowhere, fired single, devastating shots, and vanished again. The HFY responded with overwhelming force, their energy weapons turning asteroids to vapor, but hitting nothing. On the main HFY ship, the hunt leader was furious. "Find them," he roared at his crew. "How are they hiding from our sensors?" "They have no energy signatures," one of his officers reported, confused. "They're not using shields or standard engines. They're just rocks among rocks. Impossible. No spacefaring race would fly without shields. It's suicide." But the attacks continued. The human ships had trained for this, practiced moving through space using minimal power. They knew every asteroid, every shadow, every hiding place in the belt. In orbit around Mars, Commander Anna Wright coordinated the larger strategy. "Group 3, begin harassment pattern," she ordered. "Group 4, hold position and wait for stragglers." The HFY fleet started to break formation, individual ships chasing after attackers they couldn't find. Exactly as planned. "They're splitting up," Nathan reported from Mars. "Just like wolves separating their prey from the herd." Dr. Martinez watched from his lab, monitoring the effectiveness of their weapons. "The gravity pulses are working better than expected," he said. "Their shields aren't designed to handle internal collapse." Susan's ship struck again, this time targeting a larger vessel. But something went wrong. The gravity pulse missed, and the HFY ship turned toward them. "Evasive action," Susan ordered, but kept her voice calm. They'd trained for this too. The Shadowcat powered up its emergency thrusters, seeming to run in panic. The HFY ship followed, its weapons burning space around them. To the aliens, it looked like they'd finally caught their prey. They didn't notice they were being led into a trap. "Now," Susan commanded. Her ship cut power completely, letting momentum carry them through a field of small asteroids. The HFY ship followed, and found itself surrounded by 5 other human vessels that had been waiting in ambush. The aliens never had a chance to raise their weapons. Multiple gravity pulses hit them from different angles, their shields collapsing in on themselves like a crushed soda can. "Target eliminated," Susan reported calmly, moving to next hunting ground. The battle continued for hours. The HFY tried to adapt, but they couldn't change their basic nature. They were used to being the strongest predator, used to overwhelming their prey with superior force. They didn't know how to fight an enemy they couldn't find. "Status report," Anna called from her command center. "We've destroyed or disabled 37 enemy ships," Nathan replied. "Lost 12 of ours, but most of our crews managed to eject safely. The rescue teams are picking them up." "The HFY aren't used to extended combat," Peter added. "Their crews are showing signs of fatigue. They're making mistakes." Anna nodded. This was what they planned for. Humans could fight tired. They'd evolved to keep going long after other predators had to rest. The turning point came when Susan's team managed to capture a HFY scout ship mostly intact. The aliens had fought to the death, but they hadn't managed to destroy their data cores. "Dr. Martinez," Susan called over the comm. "We've got you a present, sending over the alien tech now." In his lab, Peter could barely contain his excitement as he began analyzing the HFY technology. "This is incredible," he said. "Their weapons are more advanced than ours, but their basic engineering, it's not that different. We can work with this." The battle in the asteroid belt lasted 3 days. By the end, The mighty HFY hunting fleet was in ruins. The survivors retreated, carrying with them a message they never expected to deliver. The prey had teeth. In the aftermath, Susan stood in the observation deck of Mars Base 1, watching recovery ships collecting debris from the battle. "They thought we'd be easy targets," she said to Nathan, who'd come up from his command center. "They thought we'd run and hide. Instead, we taught them what real hunting looks like," Nathan replied. "The quiet hunt, the patient hunt, the hunt that ends with the prey bringing down something bigger than itself." Anna joined them, looking tired but satisfied. "This was just the first battle," she reminded them. "They'll be back, and they'll be ready for our tricks this time." "Let them come," Peter said, entering with a tablet full of data from the captured ship. "We're just getting started. They forced us to remember how to hunt, and now we're remembering how to do something else, how to learn from our prey." He showed them his preliminary analysis. "Their technology can be adapted to our ships. We can combine their strength with our endurance. And when they come back, we'll be ready," Anna finished. "Because that's what humans do. We adapt. We learn. We evolve." Out in the asteroid belt, Susan's Shadowcat and the other stealth ships resumed their patrol. They looked different now, their hulls decorated with kill markings in the style of ancient fighter planes. The marks were invisible unless you knew exactly where to look, just like the ships themselves. The hunters had become the hunted, and humanity was just beginning to show its teeth. The red dust storms of Mars swirled outside the command bunker's view screen. Commander Anna Wright studied the tactical display with growing concern. The HFY had returned, just as they predicted. But this time, they'd brought an armada. "How many ships?" she asked. "Over 300, Nathan Cole replied, his face grim. "They've learned from their last defeat. No more family ships. These are all warships." Dr. Peter Martinez looked up from his datapad. "They've modified their shields too. Our gravity pulse weapons won't work as well now." Anna nodded. She had expected this. The HFY were predators after all. They knew how to adapt when hunting difficult prey. "Good thing we have new tricks ready." Status of Operation Ghost. "Ready." Susan Baker's voice came through the comm. Her stealth ship squadron had been hiding in Mars orbit for the past week, preparing for this moment. All ships are in position, powered down and waiting. The HFY fleet appeared on their long-range sensors, moving with purpose toward Mars. This wasn't a hunting party anymore. This was an invasion force driven by wounded pride. "They're broadcasting a message," the communications officer announced. The main screen lit up with the image of a HFY war leader. Its scales were darker than the ones they'd seen before, marked with scars from previous battles. "Humans," the alien's voice boomed through the speakers. "You have earned our respect as worthy prey. Your tactics in the asteroid belt were impressive. But now you faced the true might of the HFY Empire. Surrender your colonies, and we will make your deaths quick." Anna stepped forward. "This is Commander Wright. We declined your offer to hunt in our system before. We decline it again." "You still don't understand," the war leader hissed. "We are not asking permission anymore. We are taking what we want, and we have learned how you fight." The screen went dark. Anna turned to her crew. "They think they've learned all our tricks. Time to show them some new ones. Begin Operation Ghost." High above Mars, Susan's squadron waited. Their ships weren't just powered down now. They were covered in a new material Peter had developed using the captured HFY technology. It bent light around them, making them nearly invisible even to the naked eye. The HFY fleet split into 3 groups, just as human intelligence had predicted they would. 2 groups moved to attack the Mars colonies from different angles, while one stayed back as reserve. "They're being careful this time," Nathan observed, "making sure we can't pick them off one by one." "Doesn't matter," Anna replied. "Launch the decoys." Across Mars's surface, hidden launchers fired thousands of small objects into space. To the HFY sensors, they looked like debris, pieces of destroyed ships and stations. But hidden among the debris were tiny robots, each carrying a powerful explosive charge. The alien fleet's front line plowed through the debris field, their shields easily deflecting the small impacts. They didn't notice that some of those impacts stuck to their hulls. First layer of defense has attached, Peter reported. Moving to Phase 2. Susan's voice came through the comm again. Ghost Squadron, execute attack pattern Delta. Her ships rose from their hiding places, still invisible. They carried no weapons. They didn't need to. Instead, each ship trailed long monofilament nets, another technology adapted from their study of HFY materials. The nets were nearly invisible, their filaments thinner than human hair, but stronger than steel. As Susan's ships weaved between the alien vessels, the nets created a complex web in space. They're starting their attack run, Nathan warned. Brace for impact. The HFY ships opened fire on Mars's surface, their energy weapons lighting up the sky. But most of their shots hit empty ground or automated decoy stations. The real colonies were deep underground. Now, Anna ordered. Peter pressed a button on his console. All the small explosives attached to the alien ships detonated at once. They weren't powerful enough to breach the shields, but they didn't need to be. The explosions created a brief flicker in each ship's energy field, just long enough. Ghost Squadron, pull out, Susan commanded. Her ships rocketed away from the alien fleet, pulling their nets tight. In that split second when the shields flickered, the nets sliced through the HFY ship's outer armor, tangling in their propulsion systems. Chaos erupted in the alien fleet as ships suddenly lost power or spun out of control. But the HFY were experienced warriors. They quickly adapted, their remaining ships forming defensive formations. Second wave incoming, Nathan reported. They're not falling for the same trick twice. They don't need to, Anna said. Begin surface operation. Across Mars's surface, hidden doors opened in the red soil. But instead of ships launching up, atmosphere began venting down. The careful calculations Peter had made were perfect. The sudden atmospheric movement created a massive dust storm, larger than any natural one. The HFY ships found themselves engulfed in a cloud of red dust. Their energy weapons fired blindly, but the dust absorbed and scattered their beams. Their sensors, designed to detect energy signatures, were useless against the billions of tiny particles surrounding them. All ships, attack pattern Omega, Anna commanded. Human ships rose from underground bunkers, their hulls painted the exact color of Mars' dust. They didn't bother with stealth now. They didn't need to. In the dust storm, everything was hidden. The battle that followed was unlike anything the HFY had ever experienced. Human ships struck from all directions, using the dust storm as cover. They had trained for these conditions, learned to fight blind, relying on momentum and timing rather than visual cues. The aliens tried to retreat to clear space, but found their exit routes blocked by more monofilament nets, now visible as they collected dust. They were trapped in a three-dimensional maze of their own dead and dying ships. In his lab, Peter watched the sensor readings with satisfaction. Their shields are useless in the dust storm, he reported. The particles are too small to trigger them, but numerous enough to clog their systems. Susan's voice crackled through the comm. Commander, their flagship is isolated. Permission to engage. Granted, Anna replied. Show them what humans do to hunters in our territory. The battle for Mars lasted 6 hours. When the dust finally settled, the mighty HFY armada was in ruins. More than half their ships were destroyed or disabled. The rest retreated in disorder, their pride shattered by a prey species that kept inventing new ways to hunt. In the aftermath, Anna stood in the underground command center, looking at the casualty reports. They had lost ships and crews too, but far fewer than anyone had expected. The HFY sent a message, Nathan told her. They're requesting a ceasefire to collect their dead. Granted, Anna said. But make sure they understand, this isn't over. They started this hunt, but we're going to finish it. Peter joined them, carrying new data from the battle. We've analyzed their latest technology. They're running out of surprises to throw at us, but we're just getting started. Susan's face appeared on the main screen, her ship still patrolling the aftermath of the battle. The other alien species are watching, she reported. We're getting signals from at least 3 different civilizations. I think we just showed the galaxy that humans aren't prey anymore. Anna looked at the tactical display, where the remaining HFY ships were retrieving their casualties under human supervision. We never were prey, she said quietly. We just chose not to hunt, but they forced us to remember who we are, the species that learned to hunt the hunters. In space above Mars, the dust storm began to clear, revealing a new reality. Humanity hadn't just defended its territory. It had announced its presence to the galaxy as a force to be reckoned with. The hunters had learned a hard lesson about underestimating their prey, and the stars themselves seemed to hold their breath, waiting to see what these new predators would do next. The ice tunnels of Europa stretched for miles beneath the moon's frozen surface. Here, in the darkness under the ice, humanity prepared for its final battle with the HFY. Commander Anna Wright stood in the underwater dome, watching the strange fish of Europa swim past the thick windows. They're coming, Nathan Cole said, joining her at the window. Our deep space sensors detected their fleet jumping into the solar system. It's their largest force yet. How many ships? Anna asked, though she already knew the answer would be big. 500 warships. They're throwing everything they have at us. Nathan's voice was calm. They had prepared for this. Dr. Peter Martinez hurried into the command center, his tablet displaying new data. The good news is they're using the same technology we've already learned to counter. They've improved it, but they're not surprising us anymore. Lieutenant Susan Baker's face appeared on the main screen. Her stealth squadron had been hiding in Jupiter's radiation belt for the past month. Commander, the HFY fleet is moving faster than we expected. They'll reach Jupiter's orbit in 6 hours. Anna nodded. Perfect. They're angry, rushing in without proper scanning. Begin Operation Deep Hunt. Throughout the Jupiter system, hidden human ships powered up their new engines. These weren't the simple stealth ships they used before. These vessels combined human ingenuity with adapted HFY technology, creating something entirely new. All ships report ready, Nathan said. The trap is set. The HFY fleet appeared on their long-range screens, their ships arranged in a tight battle formation. They had learned from their previous defeats. No more spreading out, no more letting humans pick them off one by one. They're broadcasting, the communications officer announced. The main screen showed the HFY Supreme Hunter, its scales almost black with age and rank. Humans, it growled, you have proven yourselves worthy opponents. But this ends now. We have brought the full might of our empire. Surrender, and we will make you our equals rather than our prey. Anna stepped forward. You still don't understand. We were never prey. We just chose not to hunt. That was our choice, and now you've taken that choice away from us. She nodded to Peter, who pressed a series of commands on his console. Deep beneath Europa's ice, massive engines began to hum. The HFY leader's eyes narrowed. What are you? The transmission cut off as Operation Deep Hunt began. Europa's entire subsurface ocean, full of sensitive instruments and hidden weapons, came alive. The moon itself became humanity's greatest weapon. First wave, launch, Anna commanded. From hundreds of holes drilled through Europa's ice, jets of water shot into space. The water froze instantly, creating clouds of ice crystals that reflected Jupiter's radiation in complex patterns, confusing the HFY sensors. Susan's squadron struck first, their ships now equipped with weapons that used the aliens' own shield technology against them. Energy beams that looked weak suddenly intensified when they hit the HFY shields, using the aliens' power systems to strengthen the attacks. "They're responding exactly as predicted," Nathan reported, moving their fleet to higher orbit, away from the ice clouds. "Perfect," Anna smiled. "Launch the hunters." From beneath Europa's surface, hundreds of new ships emerged. They looked different from any human or Zexatheri vessel, smooth, dark, and moving like sea creatures through space. Peter had designed them based on the predators that lived in Earth's oceans. "All ships, execute attack pattern Leviathan," Anna ordered. The human fleet moved like a school of fish, breaking apart and reforming in patterns that confused the Zexatheri targeting systems. Their new shields, based on layered energy fields rather than single barriers, could absorb hits that would have destroyed their earlier ships. The battle spread across the Jupiter system. Human ships used the gas giant's powerful magnetic field to hide and strike, appearing from storms larger than Earth itself to attack and disappear again. "They're trying to retreat to clear space," Susan reported from her position near Jupiter's Mumio, "right where we want them." The Zexatheri fleet found itself being herded toward what looked like an escape route, but they were actually moving into the final trap. "Now," Anna commanded. Hidden stations on several of Jupiter's smaller moons activated powerful gravity generators, technology reverse-engineered from the Zexatheri's own weapons. The aliens found their ships caught in a web of artificial gravity fields, unable to maneuver properly. "Their shields are failing," Peter reported with satisfaction. "The gravity fields are doing exactly what we calculated, pulling their energy systems in too many directions at once." The human fleet closed in. This time, they didn't just fight to drive the Zexatheri away. This time, they fought to end the threat forever. The battle lasted for 2 days. Human crews, trained for long-duration combat, rotated shifts while their enemies grew tired and made mistakes. The Zexatheri fought bravely, but they were facing something they'd never encountered before. A prey species that had learned to be better predators than they were. Finally, the Zexatheri Supreme Hunter called for surrender. On the main screen, the alien leader looked shocked, its prideful bearing replaced by disbelief. "How?" it asked simply. "How did prey become this?" Anna stood before the screen, her voice firm but not unkind. "We were never prey. On our world, we were the species that learned to hunt the most dangerous predators. We chose peace because we knew how dangerous we could be. You forced us to remember, but we remembered more than just how to hunt. We remembered how to be merciful." She offered the Zexatheri terms of surrender that surprised them with their fairness. No demands for territory, no humiliating conditions. Just a simple requirement: acknowledge humanity's right to exist in peace and never threaten Earth or its colonies again. "You would show mercy?" the Supreme Hunter asked, confused. "After what we did." "That's what makes us different," Anna explained. "We know when to stop hunting." The surrender ceremony took place on Europa, in a great dome beneath the ice. Representatives from other alien species came to witness it. They had all watched the war, learning an important lesson. The species that chose peace might be the most dangerous of all if forced to fight. Later, as the Zexatheri fleet limped home under escort, Anna stood with her team in the command center. "Hard to believe it's over," Susan said, watching the ships disappear into deep space. "Not over," Peter corrected, showing them his latest work. "Just changing. Look at what we've learned, what we've created. We've advanced our technology by centuries." Nathan nodded. "And more importantly, we've learned about ourselves, what we're capable of when we need to be." Anna looked out at Jupiter, massive and beautiful through the ice dome. "We remembered how to hunt," she said quietly. "But we also remembered why we chose peace in the first place. That's the real victory here." In the years that followed, humanity expanded into space with new confidence. Other species sought alliances, eager to learn from the race that had defeated the mighty Zexatheri. Earth's ships still carried weapons, but they were explorers first, only showing their teeth when threatened. And in the depths of space, the story spread from world to world. Beware the humans. They look peaceful, but they carry the instincts of Earth's most successful predator. They choose peace, but they never forget how to hunt. Deep in the Europa Command Center, now transformed into a space defense academy, new generations of officers studied the lessons of the HFY War. They learned about weapons and tactics, yes, but they also learned the most important lesson. The greatest strength isn't in being the best predator, but in knowing when not to be a predator at all. The new predators of space had evolved beyond the simple rule of hunter and prey. They had become something new: protectors who could hunt, warriors who chose peace, predators who remembered mercy. And the galaxy was better for it.